Thinking fast and slow, how our minds really work. Imagine you're about to make a big decision, let's say, choosing between two job offers. One might feel instantly right, while the other requires a more careful analysis. What's happening in your brain during this process? Daniel Kahneman's Thinking, Fast and Slow explores exactly that. He reveals how our minds are split into two systems: the quick, intuitive one that jumps to conclusions, System 1, and the slow, analytical one that thinks things through, System 2. This book is all about understanding when each system takes control and how they shape the decisions we make every day. System 1, the fast automatic thinker. System 1 is the impulsive side of your brain, the one that jumps to conclusions, forms snap judgments, and relies on gut feelings. It's the reason you can immediately recognize a friend's face in a crowd or know to slam the brakes when you see a red light. It's all about speed and efficiency, running on autopilot based on past experiences and instincts. Think of System 1 as the quick reflex part of your brain. Like a superhero responding in a split second, it's great for routine situations, but can sometimes mislead you in more complex scenarios. System 2, the slow, deliberate thinker. System 2 is the careful, logical part of your brain that kicks in when you need to analyze information or solve a tricky problem. It's slower, requires more energy, and often feels like hard work. If you're doing a math calculation, planning a detailed project, or weighing pros and cons, this is System 2 at play. Imagine you're trying to solve a riddle. Your quick System 1 might jump to a simple answer, but when it doesn't make sense, System 2 takes over, digging deeper until you crack it. The challenge is that System 2 is lazy. It doesn't always kick in when it should. How these systems play out in real life. Every day we switch between these two systems, often without realizing it. Let's say you're at the grocery store and see a limited time offer sign. System 1 might push you to grab it immediately, thinking it's a great deal, while System 2 might question whether you actually need it or if it's really a bargain. Kahneman explains that while System 1 is efficient, it's also prone to biases and errors, especially in situations that require deeper thinking. Picture this. You're walking through a park, and someone asks, "Is a bat and ball that cost $1.10? With the bat costing $1 more than the ball, how much does the ball cost?" System 1 quickly says, 10 cents. But hold on, when you slow down and use System 2, you realize the correct answer is actually 5 cents. This is how our fast thinking can trip us up. Cognitive biases, traps in our thinking. Kahneman digs into how cognitive biases, those mental shortcuts we take, can lead us astray. Ever wonder why people often overestimate how much they know? That's the overconfidence bias in action. Or why we're more afraid of flying than driving, even though statistically driving is riskier. That's the availability bias, where vivid memories, like news stories of plane crashes, dominate our thinking. Imagine someone asking you if more people die from shark attacks or falling coconuts. You might instinctively say sharks because it's more dramatic and memorable, but the truth is, coconuts cause more injuries each year. Our brains are wired to focus on striking examples, even when they're less relevant. Prospect theory, why we fear loss more than we value gain. One of Kahneman's groundbreaking contributions is prospect theory, which shows that people are more motivated by fear of loss than the potential for gain. Given a choice between winning $100 or avoiding a $100 loss, most people would choose to avoid the loss. This bias impacts everything from investments to everyday decisions. Think about how reluctant people are to sell a stock at a loss, hoping it'll bounce back even when it's clearly a sinking ship. The fear of loss paralyzes action, even when letting go is the smarter move. The two selves, remembering versus experiencing. One of the most intriguing ideas in the book is the difference between the experiencing self and the remembering self. The experiencing self lives in the moment, while the remembering self reflects and creates a narrative about past events. Interestingly, our decisions are more often influenced by our memories than our actual experiences. Imagine you're on a vacation. For most of the trip, things are amazing, but on the last day, something goes wrong, maybe a flight delay or lost luggage. Your experiencing self had a great time, but your remembering self might fixate on that bad ending, shaping how you feel about the whole trip. Practical takeaways, how to outsmart your mind's tricks. Kahneman doesn't just leave us with the theory. He offers ways to counter these biases. One tip is to slow down when making important decisions, giving System 2 time to engage. He also suggests seeking outside opinions and challenging your initial assumptions. By being aware of how these mental shortcuts work, you can better navigate your choices and avoid common pitfalls. Final reflection. Kahneman's thinking, fast and slow, is a wake-up call to the hidden forces driving our decisions. Understanding when to trust our gut and when to question it is key to making better choices in life, love, and work. Thank you for listening.